Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshak here, and we've got some exciting stuff coming to Hearthstone soon. Normally during the middle, after like, a month or two of an expansion, it starts to get a little dry. Towards the end, month 3, the meta's, really boring, and then month 4 comes out, and eventually we get a new expansion, right? They're spicing it up. We're going to be getting an adventure with 35 cards this upcoming January. It's called Galakrond Awakening. It'll be a full-blown adventure mode, or a solo player campaign like we've seen before, or if you're a veteran, we call them adventure modes, because before they used to release them every couple months. And they have quite a few cards in there that likes to mix it up. So some news about this. There's basically 2 sides. Each side has 4 chapters, and each chapter has 3 bosses in it. So for example, League of E.V.I.L will have 4 chapters. So like, let's say 4 stories, and each story will have 3 bosses. So each week we'll have up to 6 bosses to kill and some new cards to play with. For doing it on normal, it provides you with the deck. So if you can complete the full solo adventure with not using any of your cards. So if your collection sucks, don't worry, they provide the decks. If you're wanting to do heroic though, that's where you build your own decks, and if you complete the heroic E.V.I.L side, you get this card back. If you complete the heroic league side, you get the cool league one. So how much is it going to cost? The first chapter, so the first week is going to be free. You can just log on and get it done by yourself, and again, they provide the decks for you unless you're doing heroic, which you have to build your own. Then from there, each chapter will be 700 gold or $6.99 each, or you go ahead and it's $19 for the full thing. So my opinion, $19 for 35 cards seems pretty good, and some of those cards are going to be epics and legendaries, and I'm sure there's some good stuff in there. Also, if you pre-order, which I believe you actually get a golden pack, which every card in the golden pack is obviously golden, so that's pretty good. It kind of spices it up a little bit, and it is a good incentive for you to obviously spend money instead of gold. And if we keep scrolling down, we have the breakdown of the chapters. So chapter 1's 4 cards from the evil side. The good side, we get 4 cards and 3 bonus cards, and then the second week we get 4 cards in each, and then finally the Explorer side will give us 19 cards, the Evil side will give us 16 cards, and that'll be our 35 cards. So a peek at some of these cards before we get started, the exciting part. We have a 3-mana Priest card, Dark Prophecy. Discover a 2-cost minion, summon it, and give it 3 health. Currently, Priest doesn't have any other deck than Quest Resurrect Priest, so obviously it wouldn't play Dark Prophecy because you don't want to summon little minions. That's not the point of the deck. You summon nice big minions, and then you keep resurrecting them, Mass Res and Psychopomp and things like that. So this is obviously looking to be a sort of not Resurrect Priest, maybe a sort of mid-range or Tempo Priest, because giving a minion +3 health is pretty good. But for 3 mana, how is this any different from playing like a 2 mana minion that was in your deck and then just power word shielding it? And then not only that, you get to draw a card. And also there's a ton of really bad 2-drop minions. So this is better like as a randomly generated maybe card in like a control-esque priest that doesn't run mass res, but looking at it, it doesn't necessarily look that powerful. Moving down, we have Shotbot. We have a 2-mana 2/2 Mech Reborn. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. The reason it's good is because right now, the only decent paladin deck we have is a sort of like mech paladin and also like a mech highlighter paladin. So this is like pretty solid early game for that deck. And also the Quest Paladin. Quest Paladin didn't really have a lot of its own sort of good reborn minions to play in the early stages of the game. That's one thing I complained about the most, was like, I wish there was like a 2-mana 2/2 reborn minion that I could play that was a paladin. And the fact that it's a mech means we can magnetize into it, and it works with Kangor. And then on top of that, all the mechs will have now reborn. But I guess the reborn part of it's bad, because if a 2/2 dies off this, you could technically resurrect that with the Kangor. So there's a less likelihood of it being a good minion, but I still think this would be a card to play in Quest Paladin. There you go. I zoomed in a little bit for you guys. I didn't notice how far away it was. Editing in progress. Chaos Gazer. I looked at this card, read it, I really liked it, and then I looked at this card again and read it and didn't like it as much. So it's a 3-mana 4/3 demon Battlecry. Corrupt a playable card in your opponent's hand. They have 1 turn to play it. So the reason that I at first I didn't see the word playable, so I thought you could just don't look at your opponent's hand. It just shows you their hand, and then you click on a card, and they're obviously in the same order, and then they have to play it. So you could use this on cards that in your opponent's hand cost a lot of mana that they just can't play yet, like Galakrond, for example. You play this on 3, they played a card that tells you that they have Galakrond in their hand, and then you use this on Galakrond and you got rid of the Galakrond, right? But it has to be a playable card in your opponent's hand, which means they cannot just play the card the turn after that this gets played, right? So this is more of like maybe a hedge against Shirvala Paladin, you know, where you can use this on like Holy Wrath or Shirvala or Baleful Banker, or cards that they have to use in a certain combo, not necessarily will want to play just outright. And maybe in the future we have more of those sort of OTK decks. It's a cool card. I like it a lot, but I would have really liked to see Corrupt just a card in your opponent's hand, right? Why does it have to be playable? I guess if it's not the playable, then this is just a 3-mana 4/3 discard a card from your opponent's hand, because you would just always use this on a big minion or a big card, but you don't know if you're using it on a big card or not because you have to read their hand. And normally by turn 3, that's not a lot of information to get anyway. So you would just be kind of assuming at turn 3 which cards would be costing a lot, right? I don't know. I would have liked to see this like not a playable card. I think it would actually be a lot better. So now, because it's not a playable card, it's probably not going to see as much play, or almost any play. But if this was just a corrupted card, and obviously you don't get to see it, it would have been super cool. I would, oh man. At first I thought it was just, I didn't see the playable card. I was like, oh, this card's amazing. And I read it again because I don't know how to read. And yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, but cool card nonetheless. Like almost a really cool card, but still like kind of a cool card. And then we have Ronaldo. It's third appearance. It's third debut. We've seen this card time and time again. Now he's going to be a new mage hero. So we have a 10-mana battle cry, make all minions disappear, poof. And obviously it gives you the 5 armor, and the hero power will change to something else. So I'm interested. I don't have access to what the hero power is. I tried to scour the internet to find this. It'll probably come up in a couple hours, but obviously I record the video now. I can't just add shit later once it's posted to YouTube, because that would be crazy. What do you guys, for the first couple people watching this video and leaving comments, what do we think this hero power is going to be? And if one of you guys are right, you guys should go work at Blizzard, right? So my guess is it's Reno, and he's holding the Gatling gun, right? So what if it's it replaces your hero power with a 2-mana arcane missiles, fires 3, you know, like his Gatling gun missiles at either minions or face. So if they have no minions, it's 2-mana 3 face, and or it's, you know, could potentially kill some minions. So it's just kind of like an upgraded hero power. It does 2 more pings for the same mana cost. I could be wrong. That could be way too good, but it's Reno, and he's holding the gun. And the gun shoots little missile thingies. So that's my guess. That's what I got off the top of my head. Maybe if I had more time to think about it, but that's what I got for you right now. And last but not least, Rob, you know it comes out January 21st, but do we have any sort of timeline? Of course we do, guys. It's at the very bottom. The chapters will unlock in the following dates. The first one, January 21st. Again, the first one is free, costs you nothing. And then from there on out, each one costs, I believe I said $7, or you can pay $20, get them all, and then you get the free golden pack. I'm sure as we get closer to the release, all of the cards for this expansion will be out there, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of good ones that we can cover, because out of 35 cards, there's at least going to be 5 or 10 that are probably going to be found and making their way into some main decks. Hopefully we can see some new archetypes, and this will spice up the meta on top of the balance changes that we're receiving in just like a couple days, hopefully from the release of this video, maybe even tomorrow. So with that, guys, thanks for watching. What do you think in the comment section below? I'm quite excited to play with some Reno Mage, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Of course, I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.